Page 101. Lead with your crotch. I'm so hyped. Cause I ain't leaving alone. Feel like I could be honest, babe. We both know that we're grown. That's why I wanna know. How many drinks would it take you to leave with me? Yeah, you look good and I got money, but I don't wanna waste my... Hi. Welcome to my bubble where we do a little bit of adulting, a little bit of healing, and a little bit of creating. Technically, I'm late because book club was supposed to come out yesterday, but like real time, today is Thursday, and I just finished reading the book yesterday, and I meant to record it yesterday, but like, shout out to Hello Mood. Anyway, I don't blame them. I take full accountability. I was tired. But it's going up today. I'm filming it today. I'm editing it today, and it's getting posted today, period. Anyway, welcome back to book club. Holding myself accountable. We're going to be on time. Ish. So, for the month of March, we read You Are a Badass. You Are a Badass, right? Period. By Jen Sincero. If you don't know, I have this weird relationship with books where every time I'm reading them, I get tired and fall asleep. But what I have found to work for me is listening to the book on Audible as I follow along. I don't know why. I don't know. I started to say, maybe it relates to school when we were like popcorn. Other people would read out loud because I could follow along then, and I liked that. I just didn't when I got picked. I didn't like when I got picked on and had to read out. Who knows? Who cares? Whatever. We read You Are a Badass. How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life by Jen Sincero. I said all that to say that's how I know how to say her name, because I definitely thought it was Sincero, but listening to the book, it's Sincero. Let us read the blurb. The blurb. You Are a Badass is the self-help book for people who desperately want to improve their lives but don't want to get busted doing it. This refreshingly entertaining how-to guide, best-selling author and world-traveling success coach Jen Sincero serves up 27 bite-sized chapters full of hilariously inspiring stories, sage advice, easy exercises, and the occasional swear word, helping you to identify and change the self-sabotaging beliefs and behaviors that stop you from getting what you want, create a life you totally love and create it now. Make some damn money already, the kind you've never made before. By the end of You Are a Badass, you'll understand why you are who you are, how to love what you can't change, how to change what you don't love, and how to use the force to kick some serious ass. That's basically, that's it. That's what the book is about. Like I said, there's 27 chapters. It's in 5 separate parts. I did enjoy it. Not to cut off one of the questions for later, but I did enjoy reading it because, in my opinion, swear words and cussing is like the little bit of razzle dazzle that you need sometimes to like get your point across and to really make your point, because it's that serious in general or to you. It doesn't matter. And I love reading a book I love reading a self-help book that has some curses, like, get your fucking life together. Like, ooh, okay. So yeah, I did enjoy that. I did have, not necessarily a critique, because I don't know if I'm reading too deep into it, but it was just something that I noticed. How do I say this correctly? As a black woman in the reality that we exist in, but specifically in America, I understand our influence and our effect, our black people. I understand our influence and our effect over all of life, and I understand our position as creator. So, but even with that being said, I wasn't exactly keen on not her appropriation, but like her use of certain words or phrases that I know for a fact relate to the black community. And that's not it wasn't anything along the lines of like new N words, nothing like that. Just very loud. That's a lot of money. Like, very, very, you're gonna get her done. You're off to a bad start. Just very like those kinds of things. The way I exist in reality, I caught, the use of black expression to make her point, and the fact that she is very much white. I was like, okay, I get your point, but okay, I feel like there was another way that you could have expressed that, but that's just me. But again, I did very much enjoy the book. So, regular book club fashion, let's get through these questions. Question number 1. Were there any quotes and or passages that stood out to you, and why? Per usual, of course there was. This time I don't have a bunch of like excerpts as much as I have specifically quotes. We're going to go in order though. Chapter 12. Page 101. Lead with your crotch. I know the big saying is youth is wasted on the young, but I think in certain respects anyway, we've really got it going on in our late teens and early 20s. Aside from all the angst and drama and escorts home from the police, we've still got our little kid-like ability to create just because still firmly intact, but we've also got this newly hatched adult ability to make big things happen in our lives. Add to this the fact that we're not yet jaded by a long list of failures and are still under the vague impression that death is something that happens to other people. We, if you're anything like me, leap into our lives when we're young with an idiotic yet awesome disregard for what ifs. Blah blah blah. Then she goes on to talk about her taking drugs and whatever, but she also remembers like all of her creative pursuits. And she said the problem is that once we're older and quote unquote wiser, many people trade in living fully in their purpose for more quote unquote grown up versions of life that range from the merely passable to the full on sucking. They've bought into this idea that being responsible equals not having fun anymore, that waking up feeling excited about your life is for the young, and once we're older, we need to trade that in, settle down, and be more realistic. Yawn. Literally says yawn. Blah, 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 blah. We only get to be in our bodies for a limited time. Why not celebrate the journey instead of merely riding it out until it's over? Period. I was like, I tell y'all all the time, I am a big ass kid, okay? A big ass kid. I'm a brat. My mind be all over the place. It's just, I'm a big ass kid. I get distracted easily. I have a fit if things don't go my way. Like, I'm a kid, but I'm also very much an adult. Bills always paid on time. I don't play about certain shit. Like, I know how to feed myself. Very those things. So that was one. Also, on page 163 in the chapter called The Drama of Overwhelm, she's going through a list of like the common complaints that people have or will tell themselves when when they're overwhelmed about something. In this section, it's like get into reality, be firmly planted in what you have going on right now, what needs to be done, what can be done right now. And the quote says, do what you can enjoy instead of trying to do it all in misery. Period. I.e., or actually I just saw somewhere that that's the wrong Latin reference. E.g., one thing I learned about myself, having moved out here and now living here by myself, I can't clean the entire house in one day. Or at least I thought I couldn't. because first of all, I can't. It's not in my vocabulary. But it takes a lot for me to clean the entire house in one day, unless I'm just in the mood to clean that day. So as I clean my house, I clean in sections. Most of the time, I will do. What do I normally do? My bedroom and my closet is all one separate thing. The kitchen and the bathroom most times get done the same day, and then I sprinkle in the living room betwixt the two. But I had to learn that, because do what you can today, and then piece by piece it will all get done. Do what you can enjoy instead of trying to do it all in misery. Loved it. Period. Next page, 164. She continues on and is talking about don't overload yourself. Like, if you can delegate the work to other people, do that. Quote says, once you think I can't, the universe is like, alrighty then, no assistance needed here. See you later. Even if you have no idea where it's going to come from, stay open to the possibility of support presenting itself, and you may be surprised by what you can create and how much help you can get. I was like, yo, I never thought about the universe, like, basically taking what you say at face value. Whole time you're lying to yourself or trying to make yourself believe it, but the universe heard you and decides, all right, so you got that, no help. Let me figure out where else I can help you. Whole time I was lying, and I'm actually not happy about what's going on. I just said that. But no, that's why they say whole time, most of the time when you're focusing on, I don't want this, you attract more of that into your life, because the universe doesn't hear don't, they just hear XYZ, you know? I said, okay. Two more. One is a quote, but this next one is another little passage. Page 171. View fear from your rear view mirror. Wow. This chapter is called Fear is for Suckers. And on page 171 is where she starts explaining how you can work through your fear rather than letting your fear cripple you. Because first of all, fear is not real. Danger is real. Fear is not real. Fear is you getting caught up in your expectations of what you expect to happen in the future. Live in the present. So on page 171, she says, envision your challenges from the future. Look back on them from a place of victory, and they will lose much of their power to paralyze you. View fear from your rear view mirror. That's tough. And then on page 195, let me just flip to it so I know what context this is in. Yeah, 195 is in chapter 23, the chapter called The Almighty Decision, which is basically, this whole fifth part is about how to kick some ass, basically applying all of the things you just learned into your life to create the life you want. So on page 195, she's like, the only failure is quitting. Everything else is just gathering information. Don't let that go over your head. But yeah, those are some things that stuck out to me that made me go, you know what, you right. Type of energy. Let's keep going. Question number 2. How did the book make you feel? What emotions did it evoke? Overall energy. How did the book make me feel? I wouldn't say a mixture of inspired and confident. It's like 30 inspiration, 70 confident. 30 inspiration was more so my previous ideas that I have once had or that once I created. They resurfaced, and then the 70 confidence was confidence in myself, confidence in creating and birthing those ideas, those concepts, all of that. Confidence in how to take the steps to actually kick the ass, confidence in you are a badass for real, and you knew that. Very that. So I'd say 30 inspired, 70 confident. Question 3. Have any of your personal views changed because of this book? If so, how? No personal views have changed, but one view I do have on the book. This is really, originally I intended on saying this is a combination of The Secret and Think Like a Monk, but that's not all the way true. It's really, if anything, it's the tail side of the coin, and Think Like a Monk is the head side. The Secret is really just a book about the law of attraction, but for the law of attraction to function efficiently, there are other laws and other things that happen in tandem. So, but Think Like a Monk and You Are a Badass really, they don't teach you the additional laws, but the concepts of the laws are in there. Only difference, this is like the Think Like a Monk is like is the spiritual side of it and gives it to you in a spiritual way. If you're on your journey to strictly looking for peace, You Are a Badass is your tough love homegirl is talking to you, giving it to you straight, very that. But and in the process of you adapting what your homegirl told you, you find peace along the way. So I'd say this and Think Like a Monk are two sides of the same coin, but this one is it's more me and you were talking, versus Think Like a Monk is you seeking guidance from not a higher power, but like a mentor or a coach. But I agree. So if you're not into the whole, it doesn't matter. I would say start with this book, and if you like this book, then read Think Like a Monk. But for my journey and where I was, I read it in the right order. If you haven't seen the Think Like a Monk book club, I think it's on the side. Go watch that. Number 4. What was your favorite chapter and why? I was thinking about this. I think my favorite chapter is either chapter 24, Money is Your New Best Friend, or the following chapter, 25, entitled Remember to Surrender. Money is Your New Best Friend is just that. It's about money. She tells you the different rules for wealth consciousness, and really mentions like healing your money mindset and healing your relationship with money, being honest about your relationship with money, blah blah blah. But chapter 25, Remember to Surrender, is really all about, no matter what, you got to give it to God. You got to let it go. You got the Most High. You're not going to know the how. That's not your part in the process. The Most High's part in the process, aside from giving you the idea, is to worry about the how and how to bring it together. So that's kind of where I am on my journey. So one of those two chapters. Last question. Question number 5. Was the book satisfying to read? Why or why not? Absolutely. Like I said, I enjoy a little curse every now and then. I love people who, I started to say don't take themselves too seriously, because really cursing is not that deep to me, especially if we're all adults, you know? So I love a good book that can curse every now and then. There was some sarcastic jokes. I love sarcasm. I'm here for it. And I don't use the word love, but I really do enjoy when people reference their testimonies. I don't like to use the word testimony, but reference their experiences when proving a point, or to emphasize how that point can come to fruition, can play a part, can whatever the phrase is. And maybe because I do that, sometimes I have to check myself on it, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm talking about myself. But if I'm trying to tell you how I have to show tough love with a certain friend, and then I'll give you a scenario of what and how I did that, just because that's my advice to you. Have tough love with whatever you're dealing with. It's very like that, kind of like lead by example kind of thing, but that's just my perspective on it. But I like that she does that through the whole book, in tandem with telling you how to create the life that you want. She says how she did it and the scenarios that she was in, and she blatantly says, like, everybody was talking about God, I thought it was corny. Everybody was saying this and this, and I thought it was corny, and then I did it, and I was like, see. Don't knock it till you try it, I'm telling you. But yeah, that was the book club. That was March book club on You Are a Badass. In April, we are either going to read I'm so hyped because I think, not sidebar, but here's why I'm excited. I think I'm going to give my mind a break from the self-help books, just because, like, when I was reading Think Like a Monk, I not blamed it on, but I was like, oh, okay, I'm a lot further into the journey and into the process than I thought I was, because it wasn't till the second half or damn near the end of the book where those were tips and tricks, quote unquote, that I could apply in my life right now. And it happened again in this book. Like I said, there's 27 chapters, and my favorite is either 24 or 25. So the parts that apply to me in this and for where I'm at in my journey, it's not until the ends of the books. So that ends of the self-help books. So that says to me, babe, you're good. Like, just now you're in the step of the process where you enact it. So get to work, right? So in the meantime, I don't need to keep reading books about what to do, right? I just got to get to doing. Do, don't spew. That's another one of the chapters. Anyway, so next month we will either read Dangerous Love, but I think I kind of also want to read Summer to Remember and Forget. I don't all the way remember which book came out first. These are both by Donicia Bates. They are in relation to, but not really, but like they're in relation to the Body Rock series. Please don't get it twisted. I have all those books too. If you know, you know. If you know about Body Rock and you was there in the Body Rock phase, we here. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you had to be there. Even though we're gonna read this one or this one, I don't know which one I want to read. I'm gonna pick one, and y'all are gonna find out. But look at the covers, like covers. Look at Summer to Remember and Forget. Here are some other Doe books. They just, and I've read them all, so I know how they play into the story. But these are not options. I just want you to see these covers. The notes, I don't know. I knew just off the strength of the cover that this book was gonna be some shit, boy. And I think out of the entire Body Rock series, even Dangerous Love, A Summer to Remember and Forget, I have Detention. Like, I literally have them all. I don't know. I think the note might be my favorite, but I haven't read them since like 2015, 2016. So I'm gonna read them all again, and we gonna see. But one thing you know about me is I'm a simp, and I'm a Cancer Venus, and I am working on my Divine Feminine, and so my heart just spews. Okay, my heart is open. Okay, love pours in and out. So we're on our, let's say, romance novels, if you will, but not in a corny way. So yeah, that's going to be one of the two will be next month book club. But like Detention, it's what book do you know? Reading book on a freaking spiral, on a notebook spiral. Detention, get it? Tough. So yeah, here I was thinking this video wasn't gonna be half an hour again, but here we are. Anyway, I've talked enough. My throat is dry. I need my water, and I have to get back to work. So I will see you in my next video. Bye.